step every day. I'm gonna get there at any price. Step aside, I'm on my way. I got the blues, and up above it's so bare. Shoes go on and carry me there. I'll build a stairway to paradise with a new step every day. Come you teachers who delight in panning the dancing teachers, let me tell you there are a lot of features of the dance to carry you through the gates of heaven. It's madness to be simply going around in sadness when you could be doing the steps of gladness. You'll be happy when you can do just 6 or 7. Begin today, you'll find it nice. The quickest way to paradise. When you practice, here's the thing to do. Simply say as you go, as you go. I'll build a stairway to paradise with a new step every day. I'm gonna get there at any price. Step aside, I'm on my way. I got the blues, and up above it's so fair. Shoes go on and carry me there. I'll build a stairway to paradise with a new step every day. With a new step every day. A new step, a new step every day. With a new step, with a new step, with a new step every day. Billy's Place, the vibe is light and breezy. Billy's Place, it's a virtual speakeasy. My home base, I'm glad that you dropped by. Time to grab a libation from the shelf. Have whatever you want, you gotta make it yourself. Sit back, relax, I'll make your troubles fly. A musical trip, nothing complicated, and if you tip, that's always appreciated. Good fellowship with no mask on our face. From apartment 5 across the park, I'll be singing and swinging till it gets dark. Don't worry about finding a place to park, just park it at Billy's Place. Park it at Billy's Place. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Billy's Place, episode 25, celebrating George and Ira Gershwin. Sit back, relax. I'm glad you're here. Just park it at Billy's Place. Life has just begun. Jack has found his Jill. Don't know what you've done, but I'm all a thrill. How can words express your divine appeal? You could never guess all the love I feel. From now on, lady, I insist. For me, no other girls exist. It's wonderful. It's marvelous. You should care for me. It's awful nice. everybody. It's wonderful that you're here with me tonight. November 5th, episode 25 of Billy's Place. It's hard to believe, but we are still here in the virtual speakeasy. And tonight I'm really glad because it's a show I've been thinking about doing for a long time, celebrating the music of George and Ira Gershwin. I have to tell you that George and Ira Gershwin probably, if I had to pick a turning point for me when I was very young, the composer that really swerved my head and got me interested in songs of the Great American Songbook, it would have been George Gershwin and the songs that he wrote with Ira Gershwin. When I was 12 years old on my birthday, my grandmother gave me this fantastic songbook. Now, I posted it on my Facebook a couple of days ago, and it used to have a really wonderful cover with this great Hirschfeld drawing, and it was like all rainbow colors. It's the New York Times, Gershwin, Years in Song, and on the cover it says music by George, lyrics by Ira. And I got that book when I was 12. I still have it. I devoured it from cover to cover, and it really was what opened the door for me to the songs, to the great songs of the Great American Songbook. It led me to Cole Porter and Irving Berlin and Richard Rodgers and Hart and Hammerstein and Johnny Mercer and Harold Arlen and all the rest. But really, George Gershwin was the way in. So I'm thrilled to be singing that music for you tonight. And earlier this week, I had posted all of you to tell me what your favorite Gershwin songs were, and so many people wrote back, and there were so many great responses. I made a list, and I think there was close to 50 songs on the list. Don't worry, because I'm not going to do 50 songs for you tonight. As a matter of fact, there are so many great ones that probably in a couple of months I'll revisit this and do volume 2. But I hope that the songs that I've chosen for you tonight meet with your approval. Before we get started, a little bit of announcing to do. First of all, thank you so much for joining us last week for our Halloween Spooktacular. We got so many great responses to it, and Doug did such a fabulous job decorating it and producing it, and we really had a great time. I'm still getting great feedback from that show. And my skeleton costume, people were like, "Oh, you're all skin and bones." Ha ha ha. Well, I'm back to my normal shape tonight. We had a great time, but it goes on every week, new shows every week, and we have great merchandise, as I always like to say, in the merchandise store. We have the coffee mugs, we have the coasters, we have the tumblers, the large water tumblers, and oh, here's a coaster, and we have a hoodie, this great, it's a lovely autumn, wintertime hoodie. It's a sweatshirt with a hoodie on it. It's got the Billy's Place logo. We've got T-shirts. We've got refrigerator magnets. We've got mouse pads. We've got cheese boards, these beautiful cheese board sets. And my friend K.T. Sullivan, who I just adore, who heads up the Mabel Mercer Foundation, sent me a picture of her lovely, where she likes to sit in the morning and have her morning coffee with her two, not one, but her pair of Billy's Place throw pillows. And isn't that lovely? That looks like such a cozy place to be. And about 2 weeks ago, I was so happy to premiere my brand new Billy's Place album that was derived from songs that I have enjoyed doing for you for these past few weeks. Here is the CD. It's called Billy's Place. And my dear friend Christine Ebersole got a copy of it, and she wrote me the nicest things today. And I said, "Hey, Chris, will you send me a picture of you holding the album?" And so she did. So that's Christine Ebersole holding up a picture of the Billy's Place album. There's some wonderful songs on here. The Billy's Place theme that I know all of you have grown to love is on it. And Skylark, and that great song from Tootsie, It Might Be You, is on it. Falling in Love with Your Love by Rodgers and Hart. A great song that, I say it's great because I co-wrote it with Sandy Knox, a song that we wrote called Since You Left New York. Tons more. A great song by our producers Wayne Hahn and Joel Lindsay called Blue Again. It's a lot of good songs. And we've got such great feedback so far. If you'd like to order an actual physical CD, you can go to my website, which is billystritch.com, and order it there. And there's also a link on the page that will take you to the page with all the great Billy's Place merchandise. Otherwise, you can download the CD on Spotify and Pandora and Apple Music and iTunes and Amazon and all the places where you download music. So do that and enjoy it. And I didn't announce a cocktail this week. I forgot. But in lieu of that, I just went to my old standby, a lovely Grey Goose martini. I'm toasting tonight my dear friend Kim Moore, whose birthday it is tomorrow. My dear friend Meredith Moore's mom is having a birthday tomorrow, and I know they're watching the show and they're having champagne. Well, I'm having a vodka martini, and I'm toasting to your birthday and to your health and to many more great years. Before I go any further, hit the share button underneath and share this show with your friends. And also, I'll always forget to say this, later on all the shows, this show and all the shows are downloaded, loaded onto my Billy Stritch YouTube channel. So go there when you have a minute and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be great. All right, I've been holding this long enough. I have to have a sip. Here we go with some great George and Ira Gershwin. This was one of the songs you guys love the most. I think this came in probably third. There's a saying old, says that love is blind. Still we're often told, seek and ye shall find. So I'm going to seek a certain girl I've had in mind. Looking everywhere, I haven't found her yet. She's the big affair I cannot forget. Only girl I'll ever think of with regret. I'd like to add my initial to her monogram. Tell me, where is the shepherd for this lost lamb? There's a somebody I'm longing to see. I hope that she turns out to be someone to watch over me. I'm a little lamb who's lost in the wood. I know I could always be good to one who watch over me. Although I may not be the man some girls think of as It really doesn't get much better than that, does it? And what I love about the great Gershwins is that not only are the tunes and the lyrics so immortal and so embedded in our memory and just glorious, but they wrote fantastic verses as well. And that one is certainly one. There's a saying old says that love is blind. What a beautiful setup to that song. I think the whole philosophy or the whole idea of doing verses has sort of gone out of style. Well, I know it has, but that used to be the thing, the verse that would set up the beautiful chorus. If you're just joining us, this is Billy's Place. I'm Billy Stritch. We're celebrating George and Ira Gershwin tonight. If you're able to send us a virtual tip, you know, that is always so appreciated because I'm not doing a lot of work outside of my house these days. Not quite yet. Back in March, back in April when this all happened, who would have thought by November I wouldn't be, or any of us wouldn't be out working again? But sadly, that's not the case. So if you're able to donate any amount, no amount is too large or too small, to our virtual tip jars. One is at Venmo, and that is at Billy-Stritch. The other way is PayPal, and that's bstritch@yahoo.com. And if you don't like to do either one of those things, you can send me a message on Facebook Messenger, and I will send you my address. And you can send me a check, and that will be fine too. So thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciated. That's how we keep this going. Here's a medley of two songs that were also high on the list. And again, another great verse that sets this up. Dozens of girls would storm up. I had to lock my door. Somehow I couldn't warm up to one before. What was it that controlled me? What kept my love life lean? My intuition told me you'd come on the scene. Lady, listen to the rhythm of my heartbeat, and you'll get just what I mean. Embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Embrace me, you irreplaceable you. Just one look at you, my heart grew tipsy in me. You and you alone bring out the gypsy in me. I love all the many charms about you. Above all, I want my arms about you. Don't be a naughty baby. Come to Papa, do. My sweet embraceable you. I've got a crush on you, sweetie pie, all the day and night time. Hear me sigh. I never had the least notion that I could fall with such emotion. Could you care for a cunning cottage? We could share the world come to Papa do. My sweet embraceable for I've got a crush, my baby, on you. Two great Gershwin ballads. When I sang So Wonderful a minute ago, I was going to tell you about a funny story. Whenever I think of that song, there was, you guys watched the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade about 10 years ago, I guess. During the parade, Matt Lauer was still at NBC and he was doing the commentary. And the show was about to come up and do their number. And he said, and here, performing a number from Nice Work If You Can Get It, Matthew Broderick and Jesse Mueller in S Wonderful. Always thought that was great. S Wonderful. Embraceable You, the one I just did, was evidently Vincent Minnelli's favorite song. This is what Liza told me. And I remember there was one night, years and years ago, Vincent had long passed, but there was one night that Liza and I had dinner at his old house in Beverly Hills. Dinner was given by his last wife, Lee Minnelli, and it was at the house in Beverly Hills, and it was just a night I'll never forget because there was probably 3 seated tables of 10 each, and it was Gregory Peck and his wife, and Robert Stack and his wife, and George Slaughter and his wife. I think Gerald and Betty Ford were there. It was crazy. It was really old Hollywood. It was great. And at the table, I was sitting here, Liza was next to me, and at the other side of the table was Frank Sinatra. And that was really quite something, I have to say. That's a whole nother story. But there was a part of the evening when we all went in for dessert and coffee into the living room, and Liza said, Billy, get up and play something. And so, oh God, the piano was kind of turned so that my back would be basically to the room. But I was really nervous. She would put me on the spot like that quite often. I thought, I'm going to get up in front of all these Hollywood legends and play a little tune. But I got up and I sang a song, and then Lee said to me, oh, do Vincent's favorite song, Embraceable You. So I started to play that song. I got a little ways into it, and in my field of vision, to the right, there was like a swinging door that led into the kitchen. And I see the door swing open, and here comes Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra, with his glass of Jack Daniels, I presume. And he comes sit down, and I'm just trying not to look and like, oh, Jesus. And he comes and sits kind of near me. And he didn't sit in a chair. There wasn't a chair there. He just sat down on the floor with his back against the wall with his drink, and I'm singing the song, and then I get to the little break, and I'm playing the instrumental, and I can hear him singing along. It's a moment I will never forget, I have to say. My little moment. So I can always say that at one time in my life, I played for Frank Sinatra. Well, not really. That's a bit of a stretch. Anyway, moving on with George and Ira Gershwin. This is a really fun song that I've loved for a long time. All these songs I've loved for a long time, but the odds were 100 to 1 against me. The world thought the heights were too high to climb, but people from Missouri never incensed me. Oh, I wasn't a bit concerned, for from history I had learned how many, many times the worm had turned. They all laughed at Christopher Columbus when he said the world was round. They all laughed when Edison recorded trumpet sound. They all laughed when Wilbur and his brother, when they said that man could fly. They told Marconi wireless was a phony. It's the same old cry. They laughed at me wanting you, said I was reaching for the moon. But oh, you came through. Now they'll have to change their tune. They all said we never could be happy. Darling, let's take a bow. Oh, 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 who's got the last laugh now? They all laughed at Rockefeller Center. Now they're fighting to give in. They all laughed at Whitney and his cotton gin. They all laughed at Fulton and his steamboat, Hershey and his chocolate bar. Ford and his Lizzie kept the laughers busy. That's how people are. They laughed at me wanting you, said it would be hello, goodbye. But oh, you came through. Now they're eating humble pie. They all said we'd never get together. Darling, let's take a bow. For ho, 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 who's got the last laugh? He, he, he. Let's set the past laugh. Ho, 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 who's got the last laugh? No! Ho, 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 who's got the last laugh now? They all laughed. I know those lyrics really well. I have the lyrics here in front of me. I know you could probably tell that. And sometimes I look at the lyrics and it kind of throws me off. But this next song is one that I really know. Before I sing it, I'm going to have a little sip of my my Grey Goose Martini. Happy birthday, Kim. Happy birthday, everybody. How you doing? Not much going on this week, is there? It's been kind of quiet. Well, here's to what we've been through, and here's to what we're liable to go through for the next couple of days. We're all going to get through it one way or the other. Here we go. I'm glad you're here with me tonight. I was a stranger in the city, out of touch with the people I knew. I had this feeling of self-pity. What to do, what to do, what to do. The outlook was decidedly blue. But as I walked through the foggy streets alone, it turned out to be the loveliest day I'd known. A foggy day in London town had me low, had me down. I viewed the morning with alarm. The British Museum had lost its charm. How long, I wonder, could this thing last? this thing last? But the age of miracles hadn't passed, for suddenly I saw you there, and in foggy London town the sun was shining for you, for me, forevermore. It's bound to be forevermore. It's plain to see we found by finding each other the love we've waited for. I'm yours, you're mine, and in our hearts the happy ending starts. What a lovely world the world would be with a world of love in store for you, for me, forevermore. Let it rain and thunder, let a million firms go under. I am not concerned with stocks and bonds that I've been burned with. I love you and you love me, and that's how it'll always be, and nothing else will ever mean a thing. Who cares what the public chatters? Love's the only thing that matters. Who cares if the sun cares to fall in the sea? Who cares what banks fail in Yonkers, long as you've got the kiss that conquers? Why should I care? Life is one long jubilee, as long as I care for you, and you care for me, 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 for you, for me, forevermore. It's bound to be forevermore. It's plain to see we found by finding each other the love we've waited for. I am yours, you're mine, and in our hearts the happy ending starts. What a lovely world the world would be with a world of love in store for you, for me, just you and me, for you, for me, forevermore. I love that medley of two songs. I put that medley together years and years ago, and actually it's on an album that I did called Jazz Live, which I recorded, so long ago. But there are a few copies available, and you can get copies of that through my website, billystritch.com. All my CDs are available there. The Waters of March CD that I did years ago, but it's got all those great Brazilian songs with a beautiful orchestra behind me. And the Mel Torme CD, and of course the brand new Billy's Place CD. All of that is available, as well as the CD that I did with Clea Blackhurst, Dreaming of a Song, the music of Hoagie Carmichael. So check it out. Those are all songs from, both of those two songs are from the Jazz Live. What am I trying to say? Okay, so For You, For Me, Forevermore was a song that was published after George Gershwin's death. It was a song that I guess was found in a trunk. I don't think it was totally finished, but it appeared in a film starring Betty Grable called The Shocking Miss Pilgrim, a good 20 years probably after George Gershwin passed away, maybe not quite that long. Who Cares is from that great musical Of Thee I Sing. Speaking of Thee I Sing, here is the title song. From the island of Manhattan to the coast of gold, from north to south, from east to west, you are the love I love the best. You're the dream girl of the sweetest story ever told, a dream I've sought both night and day for years throughout the USA. The star I've hitched my wagon to is very obviously you. Of thee I sing, baby, summer, autumn, winter, spring, baby, you're my silver lining, you're my sky of blue. There's a love light shining, all because of you. Of thee I sing, baby, you have got that certain thing, baby, shining star and inspiration, worthy of a mighty nation. Of thee I sing. You're my silver lining, you're my sky blue. There's a love light shining, all because of you. Of thee I sing, baby, you have got that certain thing, baby, shining star and inspiration, worthy of a mighty nation. Of thee I sing, of thee I sing. Great song from Of Thee I Sing. If you just joined us, it's Billy's Place, episode 25. I'm singing Gershwin tonight for all of you, and I hope that you're enjoying it as much as I am, having a great time singing these songs. That song, Of Thee I Sing, I have a little, just an aside about that. I kind of vaguely knew Elaine Stritch. We are not related, and of course, on the sad day that she passed away, I must have gotten 500 Facebook messages of condolence, and I kept saying that as much as I loved her and as much as I admired her and that I didn't know her, we were not related. That did not stop the condolence messages from coming in, and I get asked that a long time if we're related. But I worked with her a couple of times, both times, 2 times at benefits, and then one time she called me sing at a memorial for that great director Gerald Gutierrez, who did so many great things at Lincoln Center and elsewhere, and he died at a very young age. But she had done a delicate balance for him, and they were very, very close, and that was his favorite song. And so we got together at her hotel room where she lived at the Carlisle, and she was going to sing that song at the memorial song. She sang it very slow. Of the ice. Well, maybe a little higher than that. But she certainly didn't do a joyful, buoyant version of that song. But evidently that was one of his favorite songs. And so it always makes me think of Elaine Stritch, among other things. She was such a character, wasn't she? Oh, boy. They don't make them like that anymore. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. She was totally, totally unique. Here's a song that was a song that Judy Garland sang and Frank Sinatra sang. Judy Garland sang it in a film, and I want to say, you know what? Someone's going to tell me in the comments what the movie is. I can see it. Well, it's not The Wizard of Oz. She didn't say Doug. It's like The Wizard of Oz. Because, you know, for Doug, all roads lead to The Wizard of Oz. But it's from, I want to say, Presenting Lily Mars. Maybe not. I think it's in black and white. I can see her singing it. And someone's going to write it in the comments immediately. And then after I sing the song, maybe Doug can tell me what the answer is. The Wizard of Oz. It's not The Wizard of Oz, sweetheart. Darling, it's not The Wizard of Oz, I have to say, because that's Harold Arlen. That's not George Gershwin. Yeah, he's like, I like The Wizard of Oz. Old man sunshine, listen you, don't you tell me dreams come true. Just try it, and I'll start a riot. Beatrice Fairfax, don't you dare ever tell me she will care. I'm certain it's the final curtain. I never want to hear from any cheerful Pollyannas who tell you fate supplies a mate. It's all bananas. They're writing songs of love, but not for me. A lucky stars above, but not for me. With love to lead the way, I found more clouds of gray than any Russian play could guarantee. I was a fool to fall and get that way. Hi-ho, alas, and also lack a day. Although I can't dismiss the memory of her kiss, I guess she's not for. I've heard that love's a game. I'm puzzled just the same. when every happy plunge ends with a marriage knot, but there's no knot for me. I guess she's not Well, that's just about the saddest lyric ever, isn't it? Did somebody tell us what that was from?
Yes, some people said Biden, some said Trump, but most people went with Girl Crazy.
I don't know if you heard what Doug just said. He said some people said Biden, some people said Trump, but most people said girl crazy. And I think girl crazy is the answer to that question. Thank you very much, because we're biding our time, 'cause that's the kind of guy I am. They're counting red and blue states. Here's our new state, biding our time. And that's the only thing I'm going to say about that. Okay, when I was 14 years old, 1976, Houston, Texas, the year of the bicentennial, guys. The Houston, Texas, the Houston Grand Opera did the groundbreaking production of Gershwin's Porgy and Bess. And my dear friend, who might be watching tonight, who's a fantastic music educator and singer and a lifelong friend of mine, Mila Beth Gibson. I remember it so well. If you're there, Mila, I remember so well. You called my parents and said, I want to take Billy to see Porgy and Bess, and I just loved it. And not only was it the bicentennial, but the performance that we went to was a matinee performance. I think it was Sunday, it must have been Saturday or Sunday, matinee performance on July 4th, 1976, the actual day of the bicentennial. I will never, ever forget that. So Porgy and Bess is embedded in my memory, and certainly seeing that production done by the Houston Grand Opera sort of spoiled me for a lot of other productions. It's certainly one of the ones that still is one of the benchmark, landmark productions of that exquisite opera, folk opera. I've seen it many times since. I've seen it done at the Metropolitan Opera. And Doug and I saw it on Broadway about 6 or 7 years ago when Audra McDonald and Norm Lewis did the Broadway version of it. It's just an incredible score, as we all know. And I got a couple of requests to do songs from that. So here's a medley of 2 songs from that great score, Porgy and Bess. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you're gonna rise up singing, and you'll spread your wings, and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you with your mammy Daddy is standing by. It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, they ain't necessarily so. Little David was small, but oh my. Little David was small, but oh my. He fought big Goliath, who laid down and died. Little David was small, but oh my. What is in that money out? Ha la 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 la, scatty wah. Whoa, whoa, Jonah, he lived in a whale. Oh, Jonah, he lived in a whale. For he made his home in that fish's abdomen. Little Jonah, he lived in a whale. Little Moses was found in a stream. Oh, Moses was found in a stream. He floated on water till old Pharaoh's daughter, she fished him, she says, from that stream. What is Zimbabwe-yam, Zabba-dabba-dee-dum, scatty-wah, scatty-wah. Oh, scatty-wah. It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. They tell all you chillin', the devil's a villain. Well, it ain't necessarily so. Don't snap or a 7, live clean, don't have no fault. Oh, I takes that gospel whenever it's possible, but with a grain of salt. Oh, Methuselah lived 900 years. Methuselah lived 900 years. But who calls that living when no gallows given to no man? What's 900 years? I'm preaching this sermon to show it ain't Nessa, ain't Nessa, ain't Nessa, ain't Nessa, ain't necessarily so. Doug just held up a sign that makes me very, very happy, because one of my favorite people in the whole world that I know watches me every week, and I know she's watching tonight, and Saturday is her birthday. So Jackie Joseph Lawrence, here's to you on your birthday. I couldn't love you more. You guys know Jackie Joseph because Jackie was in so many films. She was in the Doris Day Show. She was in, but listen, here's how I first knew Jackie Joseph was from the original movie, The Little Shop of Horrors. And I watched it about 10 days ago, and I wrote her and I said, Jackie, I just watched it last night. It made me laugh. It was so funny. The film was from 1960. Came out in 1960, and she wrote me back and she said, you know, we filmed that whole movie in 2 days at the very end of 1959 because in 1960 was when they were changing the whole rules about residuals. So I guess they just missed the cutoff, and so if they got the movie finished, they wouldn't have to pay residuals. So Jackie, here's to you and the maybe $300 you made from that film. I don't know. It's given a lot of people joy over, these many years. Jackie, happy birthday to you. I adore you. And David, I adore you too. One more time, I'd like to ask you if you're able to contribute something to the virtual tip jar. It is so appreciated. It is getting us going week to week. It's paying the bills. It is taking care of a lot of stuff for us. Now that in this moment where we can't really get out and work. So your support really means a lot to us. And there are two ways you can do that: Venmo and on PayPal, and those addresses are on the screen. And if you don't use either one of those apps, send me a message on Facebook Messenger and I'll send you an address. And you can send me a check. What could be easier than that? All right, we're getting close to the end. And I wanted to do the song that was by far everybody's favorite vote. I think, I don't know, probably maybe 150 people. 150 people voted on their favorite songs, and at least 25 of you voted for this one. So, and I love it too. And I'm going to combine it with a song that had a lot of votes, but the second song is actually, I think, my favorite of the all the great Gershwin songs, which is a hard call. But if I had to pick one, I would have to pick the second one. But they're all good. And talk about verses. I mean, is this timely or what? The more I read the papers, the less I comprehend the world and all its capers, and how it all will end. Nothing seems to be lasting, but that isn't our affair. We've got something permanent, I mean in the way we care. It's very clear. Our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay. Our love is here to stay. Why did I wander here and there and yonder, wasting precious time with no reason or rhyme? Isn't it a pity? Isn't it a crime? My journey's ended, everything is splendid. Meeting you today has given me a wonderful idea. Here I'll stay. It's a funny thing, I look at you I get a thrill I never knew. Isn't it a pity we never met before? Here we are at last. It's like a dream. The two of us, a perfect team. Isn't it a pity we never met before? Imagine all the lonely years we've wasted. You with the neighbors, I at silly labors. What joys untasted. You reading Heine, I somewhere in China. Happiest of men, I'm sure to be, if only you will say to me, it's an awful pity we never met before. Imagine all the lonely years we've wasted fishing for salmon, losing at backgammon. What joys untasted. My nights were sour, spent with Schopenhauer. Let's forget the past. Let's both agree that I'm for you and you're for me. And it's such a pity we never met before. We never met I think maybe that really is my favorite, I gotta say. I've loved singing Gershwin for you this evening. Just had the best time. Before I finish up tonight, I just wanted to give a special shout out to this young guy that wrote me this week. His name is Ajith, and he lives in New Jersey. He's a high school senior, and he's been playing guitar for about 10 or 12 years now. And he wrote me because he discovered me through an album and YouTube videos that I did with my great pal Max von Essen. About 2 years ago, we recorded an album, and a lot of it is Gershwin. As a matter of fact, Isn't It a Pity is in the club act that we did together. And of course, Max was in that great show, An American in Paris. So the end of the album is a whole big Gershwin medley. Anyway, Ajit discovered us on YouTube, and then consequently he discovered and made his way through YouTube, as always happens, to my Billy's Play shows. And he wrote me the most lovely message. He's probably 17 or 18. And he was saying that he was so downhearted because he's missing the chance to play with other musicians and to really have that great time. This is such a great time for growth. Those years are just so wonderful. I remember when I was that age, not only did I have a great music program in high school, but of course I could drive at that point. And there was a night every Monday night in Houston. It was called the Houston Jazz Society. And it was a big band that would play 3 sets a night at the Whitehall Hotel. And me and my friend Mike Gates and my friend John Rowe, we would go to hear this great band, and we would. I don't. God knows how they let us in, because I'm sure I was only 17, but I think they did let kids in. Um, and uh, and occasionally I would get to sit in with these fantastic musicians. I would like kind of wait and wait and wait my turn, and hey kid, get up and do a number, and it was just thrilling. And so I know what that's like, and I know what being that age is like, to be able to play with adults and to and get to have those experiences. And so I feel I know what you're going through, missing this year and this time of not being able to be out and enjoying music. But anyway, I digress. He wrote me to tell me that because he had discovered Billy's Place, it was really healing for him, and that he looked forward to it every Thursday, and he loved learning about the Great American Songbook and hearing these songs, and he looked forward to it all the time. I posted his letter on my Facebook page, so I know a lot of you probably already read it, but I was so touched by that, because honestly, you know, at my age now, I'm 58 years old, and it's interesting to realize now at this age that I am an influence for young people that are coming up. And, you know, sometimes people come up to me and said, I remember seeing you in concert with Liza when I was 7. And I'm like, great. But, you know, it's true, because, you know, I'm getting up there. And to know that I am touching and bringing the Great American Songbook to some kid who is 40 years younger than me, just coming up, is really the biggest thrill of all. It's emotional for me. It's just wonderful. So I'm glad to have this format online, so that he can sit at his computer and hear this music on Thursday night and share it with his friends and watch it on YouTube, as I hope all of you will too. And it was just a wonderful message to get. So really, Ajit, I'm dedicating tonight to you and to all of your buddies who I know you love to make music with, and who I know in a year's time you'll be out there making music with them again. Hang in there. It's all going to come back to you. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I'm going to close out with another song from Porgy and Bess, but not before I thank my wonderful producer, my partner, Doug Major, for making this all go so smoothly for me. I'll see you next Thursday. Hopefully by then, there will be some resolve in the world. Let's keep our fingers crossed. There's a boat that's leaving soon for New York. Come with me, that's where we belong. Sister, you and I can live the high life in New York. Come with me, there we can't go wrong. Sister, I'll buy you the swellest mansion on up Fifth Avenue, and through Harlem we'll go strutting, there'll be nothing too good for you. I'll buy you silks and satins in the latest Paris style, and the blues you'll be forgetting, no more fretting, nothing but smiles. There's a boat that's leaving soon for New York. Come with me, that's where we belong. night.